Well, Tuesday, September 8th is Alzheimer's Awareness Night at Petco Park. And before the first pitch, the Chief Marketing Officer of the George G. Glenner Alzheimer's Family Centers, Lisa Tyburski, is here joining us live to tell us more about the importance of Alzheimer's awareness. Let's start there. Very important that we understand this and that we start to raise funds, right, to help?
Well, the whole idea with Alzheimer's awareness at Petco is it's part of the theme games that the Padres have been doing for years.
Yeah.
But this is our 6th Alzheimer's Awareness Night that we started with just a couple of organizations in San Diego, and now we have 15 partners that have joined us.
That's great. So this is a look at the hat that people are going to get. Again, it's one of those theme night packages that you need to purchase. Tell me a little bit about the hat and a little bit about the event and how exciting you guys are.
So the hat is different every year. And if people buy a ticket through the theme game page on the Padres website, they'll get a free hat when they come to the game.
I love that. It says Alzheimer's awareness. Talk about that, how important it is for us to be aware. And what does awareness mean? Right.
So really, when people, families are affected by Alzheimer's, they think they're alone and they're navigating it themselves and they just feel like they really don't know where to turn. And so this is really just a piece of helping to, again, raise awareness where people can all come together that support a common cause.
Now, the Glenner Center has 3 specialized adult day centers. Can you tell me a little bit about that and how that's been helping?
So the Glenner Centers have been around since 1982. Okay. We have very specific service, which is, like you said, 3 specialized adult day centers. Yeah. People come to our centers Monday through Friday, 8:45 to 5:15. They can come 1 day a week. They can come 5 days a week if they want. And the whole idea is to have them participate in activities to keep the brain strong. We do music therapy, pet therapy, art, reminiscing. Yeah. And the whole idea is not necessarily to cure Alzheimer's, but it is to help slow the rate of cognitive decline, which studies have shown can happen if you keep the brain active. Okay. And then equally as important is that our centers offer a break for the caregivers. Sure. They're trying to do it themselves. They're exhausted. Lot, right? Yeah. They're exhausted, and they think they don't have any help and they have to do it by themselves. And they don't. There's a lot of wonderful services in San Diego, especially.
1982, this nonprofit was founded. Come a long way over the years, right? Can you talk about the progression there?
Yeah, we were founded by Dr. Glenner, who was a researcher and physician at UCSD. Yeah. He was primarily focused on research, but he was also a treating physician. And one night in the middle of the night, he received a frantic call from the husband of one of his Alzheimer's patients. Okay. And sadly, he wanted to take his wife's life and his own life because he was so distraught. Luckily, he called Dr. Glenner, and he and his wife, Joy, were able to stop that murder-suicide, which is a horrible story, but it shows how stressed people really are. Sure, it really is. So the next day, again, while Dr. Glenner was focused on research, the next day they said, we've got to do something for these people. We have to do something to give these caregivers a break. So they opened the first center, which is in Hillcrest.
That's great. Yeah. And you guys have been partnering with the Padres here. You guys, a few years ago, said, look, there's not a Alzheimer's theme night or awareness night, and the Padres jumped on board.
Yeah. So our CEO decided there needs to be an Alzheimer's awareness night along with all of the other causes. And so we started doing about 6 years ago. Okay, great. And we have 15 partners that all provide Alzheimer's related care. As I said, we're very, very specific with our adult daycare. We're a wonderful first step for people that don't know where to turn because people still live at home, which is really what people want at first. But there does come a time where they do need residential placement or they need assistance in finding residential placement or home care. There's wonderful home care agencies, there's clinical trials. So we partner with a lot of other organizations in San Diego for that.
So Tuesday, September 8th is the Alzheimer's Awareness Night at Petco Park. What do you want people to get this hat, it's a really neat hat, but what do you want them to walk away with when they're hearing the words Alzheimer's and awareness and they have this hat and they want to help out, right?
Well, we want them to walk away, as I mentioned, that they're not alone. Just knowing they're not alone. Sadly, there's thousands and thousands of people that are affected by this, and that there are supportive services out there for them.
Yeah, absolutely. And they can learn more about those services on your website?
Our website is glenner.org, GLENNER.org. And then again, to buy the tickets or to buy the Padres tickets, they have to go to the theme page on the Padres website.
Awesome. Okay, well, let's do that. This is a neat hat.
Yeah, thank you.
And it goes to a great organization. So, Lisa, thanks so much for coming in, walking us through that. There's something we can all do and take part in here.
Exactly.
Thanks for coming in. All right, we're taking a quick break. We'll be right back.